What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Detroit Lions video. Now, throughout Bob Quinn's tenure with the Detroit Lions, dating back all the way to his first NFL draft, being the 2016 draft, he's hit on a lot of late round gems. Those guys include Graham Glasgow in the third, Miles Killebrew in the fourth, Anthony Zettel in the sixth. In 2017, he got Kenny Golladay in the third and Jamal Agnew in the fifth. 2018, he got Tracy Walker in the third, Deshaun Hand in the fourth, Nick Bawden in the seventh, and even as early as last season, he got Amani Oruwariye in the fifth round, who was arguably our most efficient cornerback last season. Now, I don't think this draft class is any exception. I think there are guys in this draft class that can become NFL superstars eventually. And I think some of these guys can become NFL stars as soon as next season. As soon as the 2020 season hits, these guys could be immediate impact players and be competing for things like Rookie of the Year. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to be going over our later round picks from rounds 3 to 7, talking about what I think they're going to do in the NFL, whether I think they're going to be a star, whether I think they're going to be a good contributor, or whether I just think they're going to be okay to, bad. So with that being said, if you are new to the channel and are enjoying the content, consider liking the videos and subscribing to the channel. It takes 2 seconds out of your day to make mine, and I'd be very, very appreciative to everybody that chooses to do so. But with that being said, let's get into talking about this rookie class and who from this rookie class is going to become an NFL star. Starting with our third selection in the NFL draft, at selection 67, we picked up Julian Okwara. Now, Julian Okwara has NFL blood in his veins, as his brother, Romeo Okwara, a current Detroit Lion, is, an NFL player and a very good one at that. A few years ago, he had 7.5 sacks in the NFL, which led the team, and, he's a very good pass rusher in the NFL. I wouldn't say he's elite, but he's got the skills and the tools to be a great pass rusher in the NFL, and in 2018, he showed what he can do. And I think Julian Okwara is going to be better than Romeo, to be honest. Julian Okwara is a freak of nature. He's a super athletic player. He stands at 6'4", 252 pounds, and runs a 4.5 340-yard dash, as well as put up 27 reps of 225 on the bench press at the NFL Combine. Now, to compare that to Devon Kennard, the guy he came in to replace, Devon Kennard is 6'3", 249, and ran a 4.7. So, Julian Okwara is an inch taller than him, a few pounds heavier, but runs much faster than Devon Kennard. Now, you might be saying athleticism isn't everything, but, watching what Devon Kennard did last year for the Detroit Lions, watching all of his sacks, all of his pressures, every positive play he had for the Detroit Lions, nothing in that tape nothing I saw in the tape is something that Julian Okwara can't do. If anything, Julian Okwara could have done it quicker, faster, and better. Julian Okwara has a pretty much unlimited ceiling at this point because he is such an athletic player, and he kind of struggles with technique at times. He relies on his athleticism a little too much, but, at the same time, he's in the NFL now. He has coaches to teach him technique. You cannot teach somebody to be 6'4", 250 and run a 5'4", 340. You cannot teach a guy to do that, but you can teach a guy how to use his hands. You can teach a guy pass rush moves. You can teach a guy to read offensive linemen better, but you can't teach him athletic traits. And, I truly think that Julian Okwara, with his brother being in the NFL, having figured some stuff out with real NFL coaches now that are going to teach him the right ways to pass rush, the right moves, the right techniques, and just his athletic ability, I really think that Julian Okwara is going to be a superstar as soon as next season. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's competing for Rookie of the Year. I wouldn't be surprised if he was the Max Crosby of this draft that was drafted in after the second round. He's drafted in the third or fourth round and gets 10 sacks. Mason Crosby last year was drafted in the fourth round and got 10 sacks for the Raiders last year. I would not be surprised if Julian Okwara had a similar season to that and contended for Rookie of the Year. Now, moving on to our second, third round pick, Mr. Jonah Jackson, the offensive guard out of Ohio State. I think he's going to be a very solid player in the NFL. I think that he is going to be a great part of this offensive line. I think it was a great pickup. We needed him after losing a guy like Graham Glasgow. He's going to plug right in, be a day one starter, and be an anchor of this offensive line for a very long time to come. But, unlike Julian Okwara, he doesn't have that freakish athletic ability. Jonah Jackson is, he's not a great athlete. He's not a bad athlete by any means. But he's not the best. He's not even as good as like a Logan Stenberg. But at the same time, we've seen guys in the NFL who aren't the most athletic, that don't run fast, that don't lift well, that are very good players because they, are very good at using their hands. They're very good at leveraging players. They're very good at, reading the defensive lineman. They're very good at, seeing stunts and blitzes and all kinds of things like that. And there are very good guards in the NFL that, I would take on the Detroit Lions right now who aren't the most athletic guys. But at the same time, if you don't have that athleticism, your ceiling is much lower than a guy like a Logan Stenberg, a guy like a Quentin Nelson. If you're not that athletic guy, your ceiling is much lower, but I do believe his floor is much higher. So I think he'll be a good, solid player. He's going to step in day one and be a key contributor to this offense and will be a key contributor for a long time. But I don't think he's going to take that next step and be considered one of the elites in the NFL anytime soon. Moving on to Logan Stenberg. Now, this is a guy I think is going to be a star. This guy, just like Julian Okwara, is an athletic monster. I mean, he's big, he's strong, he's fast, he's a nasty run blocker. No matter who you are, I don't care if you're Hakeem Hicks, I don't care if you're Kenny Clark, I don't care who the Vikings put at defensive tackle. Heck, I don't care if you're Aaron freaking Donald. Eventually, at least one time a game, if we were to play the Rams this year, at some point, Logan Stenberg is going to put that man on the ground because he's just so nasty. He's so strong. He's so relentless. And, he has that mindset that he's going to beat the guy in front of him, that he's going to be a great player. And, right now, he struggles in pass protection. He really does. He struggles with the pass protection. He struggles with penalties. But throughout his career at Kentucky, every single year, his pass protection improved. And, unfortunately, the penalties did not, but who better to coach out penalties than Matt Patricia, the guy who, his first thing when he got to Detroit was stop the penalties. We cannot be hurting ourselves. I really think that Matt Patricia is going to help him out and help him clean out some of those penalties. The NFL and offensive lineman coaches, as well as Darrell Bevell, are going to teach him pass protection a little better. They're going to teach him better technique. They're going to teach him so he doesn't have to hold as much. And, by the end of the season and as early as even the 2021 season, he's going to be a star in the NFL. He's going to be one of the flashiest guards in the NFL. He's going to be getting devastating blocks. He's going to be opening up big holes in the run game. And, it's going to be great for our offensive line. It's going to be great for Matthew Stafford, and it's going to be great for the franchise as a whole. And I truly believe that if Logan Stenberg cleans up his penalties, if he cleans up his pass protection, he's going to be a star in the NFL as soon as the 2021 season. Moving on to Quintez Cephus, our 5th round wide receiver. I think he'll be good. I really like Cephus coming out of the draft. I love his mentality after the catch. I love the way he fights for extra yards. I love the way, he just has that mentality that he's going to beat you, even though he's a smaller guy, even though he runs a 4.7 40, he runs a slow 40-yard dash. He has the mindset. He has good hands. He runs good routes. He, is powerful after the catch. He trucked a linebacker one time, like in the Rose Bowl against the number 7 team in the country. I mean, he trucked their best linebacker. That's how strong and how powerful he is as a wide receiver. And I think that's going to translate very well to the NFL. I think he'll be a great slot wide receiver. I think he'll be a star on the Detroit Lions, but I don't necessarily think he'll be considered one of the elite in the NFL. I think his lack of athleticism is going to keep him. He's not a guy that you can send deep all the time and have him outrun everybody. He's not a guy that's going to take a screen pass 90 yards to the house. He's going to be productive. He's going to be a great wide receiver. He's probably going to produce better than a guy like Danny Amendola is right now, But just because he's producing better than Danny Amendola doesn't mean he's going to be a great wide receiver in the NFL. I mean, Danny Amendola has never been considered a top 20 wide receiver. And I think Cephus is going to have a similar career. I think he's going to be a great slot receiver. I don't know how well he's going to play on the boundary in the NFL just because of his lack of size and athleticism. But, you never know. I think he'll be a great slot receiver for the Detroit Lions, and I think he's going to be a big part of his offense in the future. But, I don't think he'll necessarily be an NFL superstar. Moving on to Jason Huntley, our other 5th round pick, running back out of New Mexico State. This guy is flashy. This guy is, at least once or twice a game is going to break off a huge run. And I think he's going to be a fan favorite. He's already one of my favorite picks in the draft. And, genuinely, I think that he's going to be a fan favorite just because of his explosiveness, just because of his just because of the electricity he brings on the field with him. He's going to be a fan favorite, and every time somebody even looks his way, the fans are going to get up on their toes a little bit because they're going to get antsy that he might break a huge run. But I think just because we have Kerryon Johnson and we have Bo Scarborough and we have DeAndre Swift, we have all these running backs already, I don't think he's going to get a lot of time. I don't think he's going to get a ton of carries. And because of that, I really don't think I could put him in that star category. I think he'll be a fan favorite. I already love the pick. I think a lot of Detroit Lions fans are going to love the pick at some point in the NFL season, but I don't think he's ever going to quite get to be that star because he lacks really the power to be a full-time 3-down running back. He's not super good in pass protection, but you better believe if we put him on a stretch play, if we put him on a toss play, if we throw him a screen pass, whether it be from the halfback position or the wide receiver position, he's eventually going to break off a huge run and score a huge touchdown for the Detroit Lions, but I don't think he's going to be an NFL star. And then the last 2 players from this draft, Mr. John Penisini and Jayshon Cornell, the 2 defensive linemen linemen we picked up in this draft. I think that they're both going to be solid for the Detroit Lions. I think they're both going to be key contributors, or I think they're both going to be contributors to the team. I think that John Pennicini is a good run defender, but he lacks pass rush ability. He doesn't have a lot of good pass rush moves. He just didn't do that a whole lot in college. Didn't have a lot of pass rush production. I think that's going to hold him back in the NFL. And, yeah, you could teach him some pass rush stuff, but I just don't think that that's what he does, right? That's not his bread and butter. It's not what he's comfortable doing. And, run defenders have a role, just like we saw with Daylon Mack yesterday. Like, he's not a great pass rusher, but he's going to have a role in the Detroit Lions, just as John Pennicini is going to compete for that exact same role of being a run-stopping D tackle. And then Jashon Cornell's kind of in the same boat. Like, he had some pass rush last year. I believe he had 4 sacks in his senior season, but at the same time, like, it's just, I don't know. I think he's an okay pass rusher at best. I think he's going to exceed expectations of a 7th-round pick. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets some playing time, especially at the end of the season. But I don't think he's going to develop to be that Trey Flowers. I don't think he's going to develop to be that Max Crosby or that late-round gem that turns into a phenomenal pass rusher. I just think he's going to be okay for the Detroit Lions. He's going to be here for a while. He's going to contribute to the team, but he's never going to be considered a top 20 pass rusher. He's never going to be considered a top 25 pass rusher. So, that's kind of my opinion on him. But, with that being said, 2 superstars out of a draft class after the 3rd round is very good. Again, I think Jeff Okudah and DeAndre Swift are going to be great too. So if you get 4 franchise players, if you get 4 superstars out of an NFL draft, that's really, really good. That's a very high hit percentage by Bob Quinn in this draft. And I really think that Julian Okwara and Logan Stenberg have the athletic tools and the ability to learn the techniques that they're going to be phenomenal players. They're going to be fantastic. They're going to be not only stars in Detroit, they're going to be stars in the NFL. And, as I said, I think that Julian Okwara could contend for Defensive Rookie of the Year right away. So, that's my opinion on the draft class. What do you guys think? Who on this list, who in the 3rd round and beyond, do you think could become an NFL star from the Detroit Lions draft? Do you think that Quintez Cephus could be great? Do you think that Jonah Jackson could be an NFL star, or Jason Huntley, or even one of the later defensive linemen? Let me know that down in the comments down below. But with that being said, that is all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys today. If there is Lions news before tomorrow, I'll obviously make a video letting every single person know. If you want to see more from me today, you can go to my second channel, Right or Wrong Productions, or you can head over to the DSA Roundtable tonight at 8 p.m. to come and watch us talk Lions football. With that being said, though, that's all I got for you guys right now. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have a fantastic rest of your day. With that being said, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.